Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this unseen video where we round up all the big talking points from social media, and we're going to start with this. Carmella is reportedly no longer under a WWE contract. Now, she has taken WWE and WWE references away from her social media bios, so this is an example here. But I don't know what this means, because I know that she had some complications when she was giving birth. She was obviously pregnant recently, and so I don't think she's medically cleared. So they might have decided to have just ended her contract, and when she does get medically cleared, will they offer her a new one? Could it be that they bring her back then? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're thinking or if this is just the end of the road for her. I'm really not sure. But obviously things don't look very good. As of right now, she is not a WWE superstar. So pretty big news dropping about Carmella there. So WWE Ethan, thank you. This is Evolve, and it's just a bit of info. We're going to be covering it on the channel. We're going to be doing the watch-along for this each week. So Evolve is taping months ahead at the Performance Center, but in a small part of the building with no regular fans, only family and friends, around about 100 people, NXT talent who haven't been on TV much or not at all, and WWE ID wrestlers that are still working the indies have been at the tapings. Evolve will introduce a new championship. So that's coming from Wrestling Observer newsletter. Just a little bit of info about Evolve. It's going to be Tubi in the US, YouTube internationally. So Brian, thank you. Christopher, shout out to you. WWE has scrapped the NXT branding from the NXT PLE events. They think it'll fare better under WWE branding, and they're probably right as well. So I don't mind that personally. JDS, shout out to you. So this was shown on Smackdown, so there's no need for us to really talk about it. This is Kevin outside Sami's house. And actually, you can see Sami and his family inside. As we skip forward there, you can see Kevin just looking at Sami and his family. And as we said, this was shown on SmackDown anyway, so we don't need to give it too much time. But a really good video. This is the kind of stuff people want from their WrestleMania build, you know? Little bit of a fan shout out to you. Mike Tyson is set to appear at WWE World during WrestleMania 41 weekend. Again, that was shown on SmackDown, but really cool news if you're going to that. Here's Triple H commenting on WrestleMania. This was announced by The Rock on SmackDown. The showcase of the Immortals, the granddaddy of them all, the ultimate spectacle, finally is back in New Orleans 2026. So, breaking news, as announced by The Rock, WrestleMania 42 will take place live from the Caesars Dome in New Orleans, Louisiana. So there, look, April 11th, April 12th, 2026. It's going to be at the Superdome, and that's the logo, which I think looks really good. I really like that logo. I like it. Not crazy about it, but I like it. Okay, let's go Wyatt's. It's more Alexa, really. So we got the Alexa vignette. Now, what I would say about the vignette is I don't think there's loads to it in regards to loads of clues as to where we're going and all of that. I think they did a really good job of kind of capturing her character. I think they got the presentation right. Like, there was glitches in there, right? Which is really good. We've seen that the Wyatt Sicks communicate through glitches. And so having like glitches and static and everything, that's just really good for her presentation, right? So that was in there. Then she said, "I am in charge." And as WrestleBuzz says, this feels, Ratchet, thank you, very much like a response to last week. There was a glitch last week, and I think, wasn't it the question, do you feel in charge, was in there. And she responded, "I am in charge." So that was great. She also mentioned about how she's going to turn the Elimination Chamber into her own playgrounds. And that's interesting because, of course, she had Alexa's playground. So definitely some wording that was chosen for specific reasons, and it all just kind of builds towards her presentation. I think that she seems like she's pretty normal, but there is a darkness there, and there has to be a darkness there if you consider her past, if you consider where she's been and what she's done, right? So I thought this was good. This was in there as well, apparently, the word bird, which is very interesting. A lot of people thought that she was the NIGHTBIRD and that the Pluto symbol symbolized Uncle Howdy. And so could it be that that was the case? I like that. And I don't really get this one, to be honest. So, Brady, thank you. Full Alexa Bliss Elimination Chamber video. So we'll have to have a look at 23 seconds because I should have the video. Does it say Splice here? Because that's a bit weird. I don't really know what this means. Splice here with an arrow. So I'm not sure what that's about. We should have the video when we get stuck into like the Smackdown stuff. So we'll have a look at 23 seconds, see if we can find that. So let's go to Smackdown and see what we're actually dealing with. Loads of bits in here, right? So Mitchell, thank you. So Jimmy rocking the OG color wave of the Usos. So there we go. There's Jimmy with a little callback to where they've been in the past. That's kind of cool. Wait, did you hear this? I didn't, but check this out.
I need a fucking break after that sequence. I need a fucking break after that sequence.
I need an effing break after that sequence. I don't know if it picked it up. I don't know if you could hear it. I've got it as loud as it'll go. I need an effing break after that sequence. I don't know who said that. I don't think it was Drew. I don't think it was Drew. I think it might be someone that's kind of close to one of the microphones in the crowds. I don't think it was Drew. Let's play it again.
I need a fucking break after that sequence.
I don't get the impression that it was Drew that said that, but I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. If it wasn't an accident, you wouldn't be standing here. That's what Jacob said to Solo. This was awesome. This was really good. Like, this was legit, like, my favorite part of the early part of SmackDown, right? And, like, Solo just sort of laughed it off. But, oh, my God, this is going to be so good, seeing these two square off. It's going to be so good. Miz says that he and Carmelo Hayes, who he dubbed Melo Don't Miz, are going to be in a tag match against R-Truth and his partner. Truth said his partner is a Louisiana legend. And, of course, that would turn out to be L.A. Knight. I believe Louisiana, when shortened, is L.A. So R-Truth was thinking that L.A. stood for Louisiana. So it was pretty fun, to be honest. I really like this as well. Good vibe, this Zelina Vega vignette. I really liked it. I thought that did well. There we go, look. R-Truth's partner, the Louisiana legend, is Louisiana Knight. LA Knight is, of course, not from Louisiana. Yeah, this was kind of crazy as well. So R-Truth planting Carmelo, right? And then rather than pinning him, he actually counts. And Carmelo kicks out. 1, 2. I mean, I think he kicks out just out of reflex. But you can see when he kicks out, he's kind of really confused. I don't know what this was. John Cena is back, and he has pinned Carmelo Hayes. It's kind of like R-Truth got confused whilst doing a match, and he plants Carmelo, and then for some reason thinks he's the referee. Okay. Then we had this, look. So Drew McIntyre getting his knee drained before his match so that he can perform tonight. So this was Drew getting his knee drained, and look at this. We did say during our watch along, would you drink that, all of that, if someone paid you like £100,000? Look at it. This is my knee being drained of fluid 45 minutes before my match. There's loads as well. Absolutely loads. So he had to go through that just to have that match with Jimmy Uso. That's crazy, isn't it? Just show up sign with John Cena on it. People are fed up, says Fades. So there's Cena's face and it says just show up. Right here, Shinsuke struck. So this was in our second match. So we did the Jimmy Uso, Drew match. Jimmy Uso getting the win. Drew attacking after. Then we had Carmelo and Miz against LA Knight and R-Truth. And this is where Shinsuke got involved and he attacked LA Knight. That would go on to allow Carmelo and Miz to get the win. Fightful asking, how do you feel about Carmelo and Miz as the tag team? Melo Don't Miz. So that was kind of like the first hour, really. That was the first hour. Then we had this moment where we were into our next match. This was Tiffany against Candice, and Charlotte came walking down. Charlotte would end up going on to commentary. Tiffany would get the win, but then she'd be attacked after. Trish would come down, and Nia would hit them both with a double annihilator. So that was crazy. So Tiffany getting the win over Candice, as she should. But really, she didn't look like a winner after. So she got squashed here, and Charlotte then got in the ring, pointed at the sign, and she's standing over a downed Tiffany Stratton. Right, here's that video package, right? We're obviously not going to be able to play it in its entirety. We want to go to 23 seconds, don't we? That's what I wanted to look at. Let's have a look, see what we're doing here. Yeah, it was Splice here. I wonder if that was just a way of getting us to from Alexa into the footage of that. Right, it might just be that. So, yeah, that Splice here was there. She mentions about making it her own personal playground, and that's imagery that we've seen before. And there was lots of these little squiggles and stuff. I don't know if I can, like, pause on it. There we go. Little bits and bobs like that in there. And again, it's the word bird that I think is the most interesting. So it was great for her presentation. I think it really did do the job. I don't know where the bird bit is. But, yeah, there we go. Maybe the bird bit's a bit earlier, maybe? Yeah. Well, there we go. It was very good. Okay, then we was going to get Naomi versus Liv, but actually we never got the match. Liv and Raquel attack Naomi and Bianca before the match could begin. Then we go over to the third one. This is all the rock stuff. Came out to a remix theme. It had little Wayne in there. I think that was just for New Orleans. I don't think he's keeping that. He helped pick up a phone for someone as he was doing his entrance, which was kind of crazy. A fan had dropped that. Then, of course, he points to the WrestleMania sign and talks about WrestleMania coming to New Orleans. He said, I'm singing in front of the largest bunch of STD having trailer park trash that's ever been. I mean, he really did kind of pander to them, but then turn on them. I mean, he was all over the road. It's very hard to know how to feel about him. He called out Cody. Chamman says Cody is all of us. It really was wild. The Rock tells Cody that since he's the most powerful man in the company, he wants Rhodes to be his champion. A brother. I want your soul. I mean, that is it right there, isn't it? That is the tweet right there. That is the moment. I don't want the belt. I want your soul. That segment didn't work for me, brother, says PW Nexus. Summit felt off. But the point was to get people talking, which I'm sure it will, leading into Elimination Chamber. But as expected and reported, WrestleMania 42 will take place at New Orleans next year. That coming from PW Nexus. Nathan Frazier saying, for what does it profit a man to gain the whole world, yet forfeit the soul? That's a Bible reference. And Elite Rockers just wondering if it was going to go this way. Is this kind of the end goal? Is it that he's going to turn him down? Like Cody's going to turn The Rock down and then it sets up the match at WrestleMania? I think there's some doubts about that following the press conference after, because obviously Smackdown had a press conference after, which was pretty wild. But it did have a press conference after. Let's just finish up with SmackDown and then we can talk about the press conference. So then we went to DIY against Pretty Deadly. This was a tag team championship match. It was a no contest because Street Profits got involved. Will Cody accept the final boss's offer next Saturday? Elimination Chamber. So The Rock is going to be at Elimination Chamber. Brandi Rhodes, heartbroken by what she saw. So, Alan, shout out to you. And then that got us to our main event, Jacob and Solo versus Damian and Braun. And Jacob almost went flying into Lillian Garcia. So here, look, boom, he did as well. He did as well. She really had to get out the way there. Boom. Look at that. Solo doing the Jacob shake is so unserious. So there we go. It's just a little shimmy there by Solo. And then, of course, this was the moment, wasn't it? So he misses and boom, catches Solo by mistake. Jacob super kicking Solo. And that's obviously not going to help things, right? That would mean that Damian and Braun would pick up the victory. And so they stand tall at the end. Drew said there is no escaping the bloodline vortex. And here's a picture of Liv and Raquel underneath the ring. So there's a little glimpse underneath the ring. I'm guessing this was them waiting before they attacked Bianca and Naomi. So Johnny, thank you. Then, of course, we had the press conference, right? So a few other little bits in here. Cody posted this. And this was his schedule. He posted this at the start of February. And you can see here, look, February 21st. So literally the SmackDown we just had. The picture is him and Rock. That has prompted some people to ask, did Cody know? I'm not sure he did. Everything about this feels very last minute. Like they made a load of announcements and they had to cancel those announcements. Like Nick Aldis did a video that actually got pulled because as soon as The Rock announced he was going to be at SmackDown, we started to see all these changes. All this stuff started to change. So it sort of feels like this was not planned. This was not part of the plan, which would just make this a coincidence, right? But I don't know. Yeah, was it? It's for you to decide. So Ryan, thank you. The Rock has arrived, says Roman Reigns, SZN. So there we go. There's that watch that Cody gave him after, I think it was either before or just after WrestleMania 40, when they were all in that big match against each other. And I believe he was wearing this at the press conference afterwards. So Charlie, shout out to you. The Rock said the exact Rolex was a gift from our WWE champion Cody to me. It was about 5 hours before our WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 40. It's time. So The Rock just posted this on Instagram. And that was obviously before he went out and spoke to him. So here he said to me, it just becomes somewhat unpredictable. In the world of pro wrestling, everything will culminate in a match. What I love about this character of the final boss and Cody Rhodes, it's not about the WWE title. It never has to culminate with a match. I think to have a storyline and two characters that are very popular, to never have to get in the ring for a match and have this very compelling and off-putting thing, he wants his soul. What does that mean? I loved every moment of it. Cody did too. We had a few tequilas after tonight. I got to tell you, The Rock was Dwayne Johnson here. This was not him talking as the final boss in this press conference. He was himself, right? He was kind of talking about the final boss as if that was just a character, because it is. I love how unpredictable this all is. Not everything has to culminate in a match. It's getting out of hand. So Elite Rockers that was so confident earlier that it was going to head to Rock versus Cody, you can see now starting to doubt that, right? The Rock says the match isn't really needed with Cody's storyline. So that really reverberated around. The Rock details his working relationship with Triple H. He said, Triple H loves this business. I've known him for a long time. He's doing a great job and I talk with him often. What I like about Triple H is he'll present me with something. I'll like it. We'll chop it up and I'll present him with something else. What I like about Paul is it's always been that way with Paul. Even when we wrestled, we would say, hey, let's do something unpredictable, something that's bold. And then he goes in to say that he told him about tonight. And Paul said, yeah, great. Nick is the same way. And Ari Emanuel, he feels the same way. So I think The Rock sees what he did tonight as being disruptive, bold, innovative. And I think that's kind of appealed to him. The Rock says WWE was going to make WrestleMania 42 announcement at the Super Bowl, but something went wrong and plans fell through. So they did it here instead. So basically, Rock confirmed in the press conference that he's not going to compete at this year's Mania. PW Nexus said, I did try to tell you. Here as well, that press conference tells me Rock ain't competing at Mania this year and will be more of an authority figure. Ta-da! I mean, look, I don't know because I don't know what Cody's going to say. I don't know if Cody is going to say yes or no. And whatever he does say, what does The Rock do? If Cody says no, I'm not going to give you my soul, right? Which he probably should say that because he's not hurting for money and he's got a lovely family. And I think he's pretty much got everything he wants anyway. I think he should say no. What does The Rock do then? You know, does The Rock get angry and does that then change The Rock's mind and we do head to a match? So I don't think any doors are closed here, but that's kind of what people are talking about this evening, yeah? Okay, let's go over to, I don't even know if this is where we should be going, but let's go here. So this is Shiloh Hill, right? Now,
just need to see how insane we look. Yeah, that's pretty insane. So I have this robot from the dark web, and it's really wanted to go to the store, but I wasn't really positive how people would react to its body. So I'm just starting by taking it on a quick walk. He seems to be enjoying it though. What? Might have lost connection. Beast, can you hear me?
My child, the beast finds strength in this journey.
I don't know what's weirder. I don't know if that's weirder or what The Rock did was weirder. I've actually been following Shiloh Hill for a while, actually, and I've been watching this journey, so this is not a complete shock. I've not seen this before, but he's been talking for months about how he had bought something from the dark web that was called the Beast, and it was kind of like thinking for itself, and it was asking for different things. I've not really been following that journey too closely. It seems to have got to quite an advanced stage now, but he's really interested in all of this kind of stuff, and I would say he's definitely worth a follow. So he's obviously a WWE LFG guy. He's one of the brightest, biggest stars they've had on that show so far. So yeah, I think we'll be talking a bit more about Shiloh Hill, right? Yeah, so check this out. So here we've got Theory getting out the car. Look, Grayson grabs him and he's like, no, get back in the car. That dude just wanted to get a picture. So there we go. Look, Grayson walking around, Theory closing the door. Whoa, straight back out. Here we go. Yeah! Pictures, pictures. And then back in the car he goes. Grayson, not impressed. But Austin Theory, a man of the people. Right, we got this as well. So there, we're just seeing a glimpse of the Wyatt Sicks backstage. A new video of Taylor and my girl Nikki and Dexter with a fan backstage. I don't know when it was taken, says Lynch Bliss. So I've not seen this before. It's just a bit of footage of them. Is that... I couldn't tell who that was. Is that Chelsea or Lyra? What belt is that? I can't tell. I don't know. But there we go. Matt, shout out to you. So there we go. Just a little clip of that. What else have we got? We've done all of those. Let's go other, shall we? Man like Doris was working tonight's TNA taping. Remember, we spoke about WWE being interested in this guy. I mean, I don't know if he is on WWE's radar and they've kind of sent him to TNA, or if TNA have picked him up. If TNA have beaten WWE to his signing, that would be funny. So, Man Like Doris, anyway, was at the TNA taping. So, it'd be very interesting to see what he says. He was literally in my hometown like a couple of weeks ago. It's mental. My hometown's like really small. So, and here he is now on TNA and wanted by WWE. It's very crazy. Let's go community, shall we? So, Raymond, shout out to you. Got a like from Karrion Kross. James, shout out to you. Got a retweet from Maria Kanellis and Mike Bennett. So, obviously, Maria, a WWE legend, of course. TJF said this should go in the community folder. So, Axel with his rendition of Alexa's theme. Just turn it down a touch. That's really good. That's really good. So, Axel, shout out to you. TJF, shout out to you. Casper, shout out to you. Got a like from Karrion Kross. And Tony got a like from Chelsea Green. Very good. Very good. Right, let's go. Thanks, shall we? So, Flag Music, shout out to you, my friends. Mats. Jang Tae Sang, Real Wrestling Fan, Word of Wrestling, Wrestling's Biggest Fan, Sweet Chin Wrestling, Shaq Diesel, Milo, Chris Knowles, CM Chunk, Lynette, WWE Ethan, Claire, Patrick, Big Bam, Brian, JDS, Raymond, Michael, Babs the Barbarian, Wild Child Billy, and the Great One. Shout out to all of you. Really appreciate the support. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Unseen. Pretty stacked. Obviously, lots going on today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.